Hey guys, welcome back to Boho Jewel. I'm Sandra, and today we're going to play with alcohol inks, which is super exciting. So there's all kinds of stuff out here, but I'm going to break it down for you in just a second. So I started playing with the alcohol inks in resin jewelry just because I've seen stuff like that, and I thought it would be fun. So I've been playing around with a lot of those kind of things. Here's one here still on my table. Really having a lot of fun with that. But this kit right here was just calling to me at Michael's for a really long time. And I thought, you know, maybe I'll check it out. So I did. So this is an alcohol ink kit, and it is by Ranger. So I'm going to show you everything that came with it. Just a lot of fun. It comes with some, it's just a good starter pack. Let me just say, I was really excited. I think it's about $26 or something like that. So it comes with instructions, with an instruction book, and I'm going to show you guys some of the techniques that it lays out in here. There's just one that I'm not going to be able to do today because I don't have a surface to work that with right now, but once I do, I will come back and share that technique with you as well. So what comes in the kit? So we have, first of all, our alcohol inks. So we have, let's see, what color is this? Red pepper, stream, the other one rolled away, sunshine yellow, and then it comes with a mixative, a gold mixative. Now the mixatives, you have to shake them up before you use them. There you go. And then you hear the little ball roll. So the mixatives are quite a lot thicker than the inks. And then it also comes with this alcohol blending solution, which if you look at the ingredients on the back here, it has the same ingredient as rubbing alcohol, but it also has additional ingredients. So this is not just regular plain rubbing alcohol, it is a blending solution. So then we also have a mini distress archival ink pad. So here is the little mini ink pad. And we have a clear stamp set, which is right here. So it has these stamps on there, all of these different stamps. I think I put this one back on the wrong side. Yeah, I did. So these are pretty cool. They just peel right off of the plastic. And then it comes with this acrylic block. So if you've never done any kind of stamping with something like this, you just take the stamp off, put it on your acrylic block wherever you want it, and it just sticks, which is really cool. So I'll go in and show how we're going to work with those in just a minute. So we have that, and then we have the ink applicator tool, which you can see mine is already starting to get pretty colorful. So this is the ink applicator tool, and then it comes with 10 of these little felt pieces, and the felt pieces just go on the applicator. So I'm just about out of these, so I just went and got some felt from the store. So I'm going to try that and see. These feel like they're a little thicker and a little softer, but when I start experimenting with those, I'll let you know how it goes. And then it also has 5 sheets of, let's see, what do they call it? Alcohol ink cardstock. So you can see this is super shiny, and the back is nice and thick. You can't really see that and feel it, but the back is kind of rough. The front is really shiny, and it came with 5 sheets of the cardstock, which I obviously already experimented on and played with and used. And then, of course, the technique booklet. Now, one thing I want to share before we get started, because I already used all of the sheets that came with it, I went out and I had to purchase some UFO paper. So this, I cut a few pieces up to demonstrate the techniques. So the UFO paper is what was recommended to me. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And it is just, it's supposed to be a really good paper for, sorry guys, for inks and things like that. So we're going to see how that works compared to the shiny cardstock that came with this kit. Now on that note, if you think you're going to use photo paper for this, because I had this whole pack of soft gloss photo paper that has been hanging out in a basket for a really long time, And it's shiny too, and I figured it was sturdy enough. It feels a little more papery than the cardstock. And one thing that I noticed, the inks dried super quickly on the cardstock that came with the kit. On this one, it took forever for them to dry, and I didn't get the same kind of effects. I also experimented on a couple of other pieces of paper, because it's what I do. I like to experiment. This was actually a really thick paper, and it's got, you can see the texture in there, so I wanted to see how that would work. It looks pretty cool. It does seep through the back, but it doesn't get the same blending as with the cardstock, and this just looks like a bloody mess. So this is the same kind of paper that I used on here. So this technique that I'm going to show you definitely did not work. And then I tried this technique, which is the one that I did here. And you can see even here, like here you can get a really nice blending of the inks, and here it creates a really cool texture, but it doesn't give the same effect. So just some food for thought if you start doing these and you are curious to try on some different papers as well. So, and I'm going to show you these two. This was the first one I did, and I am always a little extra. So as I was reading the instructions, and this is the first technique I'm going to show you, it is called agate. Let me make sure I have that right. It's the agates, yes. So it's this technique right here. So I put a whole lot of inks on my thing at first, and then this time I used a few less inks and played around, so it came out with a much softer appeal. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So here is our UFO paper. And the first step is to put a piece of the felt on your applicator, and it just sticks right on there just like that. So this says apply several colors of alcohol ink and about 2 to 3 drops of the mixative. Okay, so I'm just going to open up my ink. And just a tip on this, if you start playing with a lot of different colors especially, you want to make sure you keep the caps with the same ink, because I did not. And I was wondering the other day why my yellow suddenly had green on it. So because the inks are pretty runny and they do kind of make a little bit of a mess at the top, if you have ink in your cap, it's going to mix on your other cap. So the alcohol inks, you don't have to mix them. You don't have to shake them up, rather. Put a few good drops of this on there. And now I'm going to shake up my mixative. And I really am only going to add about 2 drops. When I did the first one that I showed you, I added a whole bunch of drops because I didn't think it would be enough. So just one, and we'll put one over here randomly. And it just got really crazy. Okay, so now you just stamp the ink onto your cardstock until covered. So this is the UFO paper, and it's really cool. You can see how it just blooms out. Get that a little closer. And so there we're starting to run out of ink a little bit. Actually created a pretty cool pattern. But you can see how it just sort of blooms out and grows, and it's just really fun. I love this. And you want to cover your whole paper with this. Oh, I'm getting some blending there. I love that. I'm going to tell you, this is definitely going to be my new addiction. And right now I'm really loving this UFO paper. I'm actually loving it almost more than the cardstock. So you can really see where it's blooming out. And you can even see, I don't want to touch and smudge anything, but you can even see where it's kind of starting to dry in some places already. And you can tell too, just from those few drops of ink, how much coverage you get. So I am going to add a couple more drops of ink to this to kind of get some of those other places covered. Yeah, I'm really loving this paper. I'm excited about that. You never know when you try something new whether it's going to work out or not, especially when you try something new and you're trying to make a video at the same time. And just 2 drops of the mixative. That is so pretty. One thing I love about working with these alcohol inks in the resin is just that it's just such an organic kind of thing to play with. It's just going to do its own thing. You know, you can make really interesting choices about the color and your placement. Of course, be creative and artistic as always. But, and then it just kind of has a mind of its own, which I love. And I'm just going to stop because I can feel myself wanting to get really carried away because I see all of this cool, like, mixing and blending and blooming and stuff that it's doing right there. So very, very fun. Very cool. So now the next step is, without removing this, you can keep that on there without removing the felt. You're going to add, and I don't know why I shook that. It's a habit I have. I think it's from when I used to do hair and you have to shake up so many hair products. I just shake everything first. So yeah, you can see right here too, this is a good example where I have a little bit of that red around the top of my alcohol blending solution because I think I put the wrong lid on it. Okay, so now we're going to add several drops of blending solution to the tool and stamp over the background to blend. So we're just going to really just dot several drops on there. You can see where it's pushing the color away. And now stamp all over the background. And you can really see where it is pushing those inks away from each other and blending them in. How cool is that? And I'm gonna say right now, just from this, I am loving this UFO paper way a lot more than the cardstock. Like, I liked the cardstock too, but you can even see the difference here. Like, the colors are coming out way brighter. These are the same colors. I used the same colors as the kit. The colors are coming out way brighter. And there's just so much more blossoming. So I'm really loving this UFO paper, just as a side note. Like, definitely, you know, if you get the kit, 5 little sheets of paper is super great to play with and get your feet wet with. So that is it on this one. And I love this effect. I'm super excited. So now it dries pretty quickly. So now we're going to add a stamp. And since this looks like it does, which one will we use? I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to peel this off the back. And one thing I will tell you, if you purchase this kit, the first time you try to take these off, they really, really, really stick. So I was almost afraid of tearing something, but I think it's probably from whatever heat process they use to get them sealed on there. So I am going to go ahead and put this on here. I'm going to put it right in the middle. And then, since this is such a small little ink pad, if you had a larger pad, you could obviously just stamp it down, but I am just going to use my little ink pad and stamp across and make sure I have all of my letters covered. So much fun. And of course, when I get really excited about something, I start looking into it like crazy. So I did see that there are a lot of large size of these archival ink pads available, and they come in different colors too. I saw a few different colors, so I will definitely be on the lookout for that as well. And of course, the alcohol inks come in lots and lots of colors. Lots of fun. And the additives also. You can get the additives in black and white and other colors too. So then, here's the tricky part. You want to make sure on a dry spot, make sure it's dry, put that stamp down, give it a good press, and be careful not to wiggle it around, because if you wiggle it around, it's going to get smudgy. And then just pick it straight back up again. That turned out really well. And even the stamp, you guys, even the stamp came out a lot more clear than that one, which, see, this one I probably wiggled a little bit, but I feel like the lines on this one just look more crisp. So definitely, if you want to get super into this, I highly recommend the UFO paper. Like, I'm getting really excited about the possibilities. So there's that technique. I will quit going on and on about this paper. I'm going to set this to the side to dry. Now, this one is a lot of fun too. This one is just an ombre effect. So we're going to have to skip the monoprint, which is in here, because you have to put the inks on the table. I don't have a table that's going to do that. You can see my little crafting table with much love. It's already soaked those in, so it's not going to work on that. But this is the ombre effect that we're going to use for the next technique. So I'm going to get my paper. Loving this paper. I'm going to get a new felt swatch. So you put the felt swatch on the back. And then it says to apply 1 color of alcohol ink to the applicator tool. So the way that it shows it here in the image is it looks like they put the ink just down the middle. So that is what I'm going to do too. And I'm going to use this one because it is a really pretty color blue. And it gave such a nice little sky effect. So I'm going to put a good bit of ink on here because now it might be different with the UFO paper. So maybe I should have taken it a little slower. I'm telling you guys, I am like, when I'm all in, I'm all in. So now, stamp inked tool directly on top half of the glossy cardstock. So we're just going to get to stamping this across the top. And now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have put something on my table underneath this, but I will see how I can get it cleaned up later on. So we're just stamping that across the top, about the top half. And of course, as you play around with this, you can make your own judgment about how far you want to go down with this effect. So that looks like about half to me. And now I'm going to take my alcohol blending solution and drop a few drops, maybe 3, I think 4 drops. And now I'm going to stamp a little further down. And I'm curious to see how this effect does on this kind of paper. Let me turn this so maybe my hand's not so much in the way. So then it gets a little bit lighter. And then you just keep, that looks really cool. So, and then you just keep adding the alcohol blending solution on the way down to get it a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter. Oh man, I love that blooming effect. And I'm not scooting it back and forth. I'm just stamping it up and down. And so you can see, and such a little bit goes such a long way because it really just spreads out so much. Very cool. I am definitely going to have to keep some sheets of paper big and play around with it. So then you get this like very watery kind of effect too. And I wonder if I can blend that a little bit more across. So definitely need to play with that. It looks very watery. It looks very cool. I'm going to have to play with some ways to get that blended a little bit more. You can see on this, on the cardstock, I started up here and worked my way down just like that. And there's a lot of texture in that as well. So I think it's kind of cool. It looks a little marbly. And then same thing, you pick your stamp, and let's see, we'll do the Own Your Dreams this time. Pick your stamp, get your ink on there. And I'm going to turn it this way so that the lighter part is on the top. And carefully press it down. Be careful not to wiggle it. Give it a good press. and then hope that it works, and it did. So there we go. Very nice. Own your dreams. Cool. All right, so there is that. I'm going to set this one aside to dry. And these are really easy to clean. Just take a paper towel. I did not think about bringing a paper towel up here because I get excited about getting creative and forget all about the cleaning, obviously. So then we're going to remove this one. And I'm going to show you how to do the plaid. Move this over here. So again, get a new felt pad. And here is my last little piece of paper. So again, here it shows it that it's just down the center. And I made a mistake on this the first time I did it. That's why this one looks a little messy. So you're here to witness my final attempt on this, or my second attempt. Really, I did try it on the other paper, but that was just so gross. Like, yeah. So gross. Okay, so let me see if I can follow the instructions properly now. So it says apply several drops of alcohol ink and blending solution in a row to the applicator. And that is where I made my mistake. Ooh, ink. Because I put just the ink on there and I did not put the blending solution. And you'll see, because we're going to just swipe this across. So now hold the tool flat on the edge of glossy cardstock and swipe tool across surface in one direction. So I'm going to try to be a little bit technical about this and line it up with the edge and just swipe it across. God, that looks really rough. I think this is a technique I'm definitely going to have to play around with a little bit. Oh, see, I got it too close. That's what I was trying to figure out, the spacing a little bit. Don't know if it'll even pick up on the edge. There we go. Yeah, so it really does blend out well. And then across the other way. Oh, that looks really sad. This is definitely a technique I'm going to have to play with. There we go. But it does look pretty cool, and especially as it dries. Now this red ink on the UFO paper looks more pink. So I'm wondering, because on this paper it came out really, really red. So that's just something to kind of take note of. But maybe a different kind of red, or a darker red, or mixing it with something. So that's basically the idea of that technique. This is what it's supposed to look like right here. So I'm sure that whoever did these has a lot more practice than me. Excuses, excuses. So that's it. And then of course you put your stamp on there as well. So let me know, you guys, if you are into alcohol ink creating. I will put, I'll try to find some links for this kit in case you want to try it. It's definitely a good place to start, and you do get full-size inks with it. You get the, I think that's a pretty cool deal in itself. So you get the inks, you get the paper, you get everything that you need to kind of get started with everything. So I hope the video was helpful if you've been thinking about playing around with this. Now you have a good place to start. So that was it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I will be sharing a lot more of my creative journey each and every week. So have a great day. We'll see you later.